roughly 9 months. I've been acting as a lobbyist for our group in the Commonwealth. Rob O'Hannon and his group, although have done an extremely good job in the past, the board decided that the money we were spending on that could be better well used internally and to support the educational efforts for this group that we have. And I agree with that. And then I went away from the screen and I was a lobbyist today. So hey, walk away and get involved. I'm just kidding, guys. I've been heavily involved with Rob over the past few years with the lobbying, and I was lobbyist chair for VAREI for several years. So I just kind of stepped into the role as best I could. It is obviously we're not rubbing elbows like those folks are, and don't have all the contacts those folks are. I want to read something that just came in on email a few minutes ago, the House, and this came from the Housing Commission. So they had a meeting this past Tuesday, and I was waiting for the minutes to come out. It was recently discussed again at a full commission meeting. The members had more questions on the proposal that the VAC staff will investigate. No decisions have been made or will be made prior to our December 4th meeting. That final meeting is when the commission votes on all bill proposals. Okay, so that is in regards to Senator Sorrell, who is the senator who brought up lumber liabilities back in 2018. And we had such a huge influx of you guys, and we're going to need the same thing. We're going to need the same thing. He's bringing back essentially the same bill. Is it there? No. Is it going to be there? Yeah, it's going to be there. Okay. Emily Jordan, Senator Emily Jordan is a good friend of mine, and I've talked to her several times in regards to this. She's actually spoken to him personally about this. He's sending his way. He's going to bring it back. Okay, guys, it's coming. Now, here's the difference. We defeated this in committee by one vote the last time. In committee, it was defeated by one vote, and that was a Democrat vote that flipped. I don't know that we'll get that. You talk about the House majority, the Senate majority leader, Senator Sorrell. He's now the Senate majority leader. It's a lot of pull. And a lot of contacts. So the battle here is maybe not whether we can defeat it, but whether we can work within it. And I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that. I'm still talking to folks. I'm still trying to work whatever roles. I've actually sent out a request to Senator Sorrell to sit down and actually talk. And that can be difficult. He is a prosecuting attorney, and he likes to debate, so that's what they like to do. So that's where that's at. Until it hits the floor, there's really nothing we can do. We can't put either gas on a fire or water on a fire until the fire is burning. And the fire don't start burning until that bill hits the floor. Now, as soon as it hits the floor, we don't want to be behind the 8 ball either. I kept playing catch up. So that's why the notification is going out to you guys right now. This can and will affect your business tremendously. It's going to cost you money. It's going to open doors. It's going to open Pandora's box, unfortunately. And it's going to drive what we do even up more. So that's what it is in a nutshell. Our liability is going to change for them. So any questions on that real quick? Yes.
Hey, I'm usually pretty loud as it goes. I was just wondering, what's the effect on other consultants, engineers, architects, and other people? Because they often have clauses in their contracts, roof inspectors, lots of other professions limit the liability. So, you know, they're singling out just home inspectors. And I brought this up to the inspector pro, as well. That seems like a good argument for other groups to enlist.
I agree with you. And in talking in brief conversation with folks, the answer to that is, I'm an attorney. I don't have any limited liability. I'm a doctor. I don't have any limited liability. But I have insurance, and that's the answer that they give. So I understand exactly what you're saying. It's there. So, and those are the things that we are trades folks. We come from the trades. We understand the trades. Most of us have worked within the trades. And to throw something at this in the way that it's been done, for the reasons it's being done, is a little insane to me. But that is typical of the way these things go. Again, we don't have a bill on the floor. But once we do have a bill on the floor, then the timeline starts. So when that timeline starts, if it rolls through, I'll give you a good example of that. Here's a for instance. For a Democratic controlled Senate, for a Democratic controlled House, we have a Republican governor. We have a governor that's going to be elected in November. Okay, we have our first female governor in the Commonwealth of Virginia. If Ms. Spanberger wins, the Democrats control the House, the Democrats control the Senate, whatever bills they want to pass, will pass. The governor will sign. There's no check and balance. Right now, there's check and balance. So either we need to win the governorship, win the House, or the Senate. We need somewhere to check and balance in order to control a whole lot of steamroll. And I don't care which side you're on. If the Republicans have the control, they rush their things they want through. If the Democrats have control, they rush their things through. So that's the game of politics. It's how it works. And the negotiations and the trading that goes on within, it's all part of it. So you know there is support trading that goes on, no doubt. Everybody knows there's no hidden secrets. So you just gotta figure out how do we, as a group, come together. And I'm going to give you a small answer to this. I have talked to the realtors in regards to this. They don't want it either. They don't want our prices going up. Okay, they want good inspectors. They want good inspections done for their clients. But they feel like the prices are right where they should. Yes, sir.
Actually,
It's not even like this.
that was a question I was going to ask. I'm technically a realtor and I have a home inspection license that I supplement my knowledge with.
Sure.
And so, obviously realtors have powerful lobbies. And so the two questions I don't expect you to be able to answer immediately would be, and you hit on it right before that, what impact will it have on realtors? Because they've got deeper pockets to potentially put into this. And then, what about, as well, just the consumer? Like, what modifications would be predicted that would be employed that would be a disadvantage to the consumer, or, you know, in the case of the realtor, you know, now everything's changed in real estate and a lot of folks are going to a seller's agent, they're not getting a buyer's agent, whatever. Clearly, that was not, indeed, hopefully was not the intended goal because it's not in the best interest of the consumer. I think that argument, our argument might be best or might be helped a lot by filtering it through the eyes of the consumer and the eyes of the realtor. So that was just more of a statement than a thought. I mean, than a question.
Follow on that, have we had discussions with RPAC?
No,
He might be a good ally.
I agree. Again, I can't throw water on the fire or throw fuel on the fire until there's a fire. But I can talk. I can have conversation. And that's what I have done with several of the larger realtor groups that I work with or have worked with in the past, and explain to them what's coming. It's the same thing happened in 2018. It's yes, and we don't want this. I said, we may need you guys to get a little voice on this. We may need some support.
It's RPAC, so you can talk, that's the single realtor entity will take that out.
Yeah, and what I try to do is talk like RAR and SBAR. So, and then all of a sudden their presidents and group presidents say, wait a minute, we got all this going on, and the channel goes up. I don't want to start at the top, but the channel has to come back down. I'd rather the channel go up. The voices are loud coming from the bottom. Anybody else with a question real quick?
I have another question.
Sorry.
Please use the microphones. I'm getting comments from people online who can't understand the question. Please raise your hand, wait for a microphone. Mic runners, please be on your toes and run with the microphones. I don't need a microphone because A, I have a strong voice, and B, I'm right next to the microphone. You're not. Thank you. I'm not picking on any individual person. Don't take it personally.
I don't run anymore.
Give it to a fast person.
All right, so last, yes, sir, please, I'm sorry.
Going back to the discussion on the PACs, have you addressed this on all of the PACs within Virginia yet?
No,
Is there a plan to do that?
yes.
When does that start?
Fire service.
I'm putting water buckets together now, let me put it that way. Okay, I'm putting water buckets together now, I don't know how to explain it any better than that after the conversation I just had. So, there's no spark for me to put out other than some conversation and, of course, Senator Thurgood on for the housing bill, the housing commission. So I'm using that part of it right there, right now, to put buckets of water together, and then I'm starting to contact folks. Guys, in the last month, a couple of things have changed for me personally. I'm a father who suffers from Parkinson's, dementia, he's 81 years old. And his situation has changed, what he's had to do with me currently. So I'm a caregiver a lot at this point. So I'm trying to do that and still maintain those things. If not, I'm going to bring on somebody else within the board to also assist in that. They've already showed some interest in it. We're going to do that. So, yeah.
So we keep talking about the long term when the bill comes to the floor. I'm thinking that if we can address this in the Virginia Housing Commission before it makes it to the floor or the committee, by the time it gets there, it's already been rejected by a committee that has met 4 different times to talk about it. Right. So they're planning to vote on it. According to that email you just read, when was that month? July?
December.
December.
Yes.
Yes, that's not very far away.
No.
So it seems to me that that's the first bucket where we're going to throw our first bucket on the smoldering, while it's still smoldering.
We will splash it that way, I promise. That email just gave me the opportunity to splash. So that's kind of what I was waiting. Any other questions in regards to this right now? This is what's going on that we know is coming, and we're getting prepared. So that's one of the things that I'm going, oh man, all right. But I got some more to tell you. I stood before this body last year stating that I was working on a proposal for a bill in the House. Unfortunately, I could not get that bill submitted in the last session because I did not have the House delegate that had an open slot to put it in. I had much interest in it. Much interest, very much interested. So much interested in now that in the next session, it will be submitted not only on the House floor, it'll also be submitted on the Senate floor. And I'm going to read you the bill. Okay, it's sitting right here. And I'm going to tell you the changes of it. It has to do with the Landlord Tenant Act, specifically Section 8. Down. This is what's being struck in Section 8. That when I stood before you last year and told you roughly there were 2.7 million rental properties in the Commonwealth of Virginia. I'm also going to tell you about the home inspector numbers. Okay. So, as per this bill, it is mandatory every 12 months for a safety inspection to be performed on all rental properties in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Are they being done? Some yes, some no. Some well, some not so much. I know for a fact, myself and John Prater are actually doing these inspections currently for different property managers. We're going in to places that supposedly been certified to be proper. Not so much. We're not seeing that in a lot of cases. What this will involve is if this bill passes the way it's written, only a licensed home inspector as defined by 54.1-500, which is what we come under in Commonwealth, Virginia, will be able to perform that inspection. Okay? Now, I'm not real good at much, but I'm real good at math. And I know for a fact that these things run $75-80 a piece. Doesn't take very long to do. We do them now. Do a home inspection and do a safety inspection. It's all part of the process. If you're in your regulations, which was my argument to start with, we are the regulated body in Commonwealth, Virginia to perform this inspection. They made it mandatory, put it in our regulations. And that's the argument I went forward with the Consumer Protection Act issue. We are there for the consumer here in this issue. So this is what is going to go before the House and the Senate. A lot of bipartisan support. I really look for this to pass. If it does, every property manager in the Commonwealth, Virginia, they're going to be looking for a home inspector because they're going to need you to do these safety inspections. Okay. I don't know what the state's going to do. They may say it's like an inspection. The state could say, hey, we have a mandatory fee we'll allow, $75-80 pop. In some cases, some inspectors are actually installing smoke alarms. Perfectly feasible. This is not a home inspection. This is a safety inspection, something totally different. You should have a separate contract for this. Okay, you should have a separate contract if you're doing these. And you can actually charge a fee to install that smoke alarm. The difference being with this being a safety inspection. Again, this is not a home inspection. This is a safety inspection. You got to make sure the dates on these things. You got to make sure they fall in a proper date and compliance. You got to make sure. We already know that. We already know they got to be in the right places. You got to make sure they function. We're doing that already. All this is stuff we're already doing, with the exception of installation. So you can do those things. You'll be able to do it under subcontract. So that's what I worked very hard on in the last year, is having not only House support, but Senate support. So I hit the floor. Emily Jordan's going to put it before the Senate. Chad Green is going to put it before the House delegates. Chad is up for re-election. You're in a Hampton Road there, you know Delegate Green. Give him a shout out. Please give him a shout out. He's working very hard on this along with his intern to make this go and talk to folks on the other side to get support. So those are the things that I worked on as far as on the lobbying part. My interest is to, number one, help the consumer. Number two, help this industry. Help this industry. I've been doing this 20 years. It has been very, very good to me, and I've worked very hard to giving back to it. So, any questions in regards to this?
Well, my goodness. Is it gonna require the smoke alarms to be in each bedroom? Or
Yeah,
in each
already
bedroom?
requires it.
Okay.
Regulation already requires that every sleeping area, not bedroom, every sleeping area, designated sleeping area has a smoke alarm. Anybody else?